Hi, I'm Haridev and you are welcome to ISIFE, the blog, okay? And please, on today's edition, we'll be discussing how you as a prospective Nigerian student can avoid Asu, okay? How to choose or how you can avoid or dodge Asu so that when Asu strikes, you won't be involved or affected, okay? Okay, so if today is the first time of coming across our channel, please kindly hit your hand or hit on the subscription button, like this video, put on your notification bell, okay, and share this video with your friends, okay? We also want to see your insights. Share your insights with us in the comment section. Tell us how you're feeling, okay? We want to hear your opinion about what we are discussing today. Okay, so back to the topic, how you can avoid Asu strike as a prospective Nigerian student, okay? So before we start, we would love to know what is Asu, because you don't just dodge something you don't know. Don't just find a way of going around something you don't know. But if you can be able to fathom what Asu is or who they are, you can know how you can go around it without being affected, okay? So number one we are going to be discussing now is who is Asu. Number two is how does Asu protect the interest of the students and the university? Number three is how does Asu protect the interest of its staff? Or is Asu all self-centered, or like, do you get me? Is it just about their staff, or do they also protect the interest of their students? We want to compare, we want to check from the demands made by Asu to check whether Asu protects really the interest of the students and the school, or just about their personal gain. Okay, let's quickly go down to what we have. Number one is who is Asu. So Asu is a name coined out from Academic Staff Union of Universities. Okay, this Asu was formed in 1978. Okay, Asu was founded in 1978. Initially, it was not Asu. It is NAUT. That's the Nigerian Association of University Teachers. That's the name initially, Nigerian Association of University Teachers, which was founded in 1965. Before the eminence of Asu in 1978. So Asu is like every other trade union, okay? What is the function of trade unions? To protect the interests of themselves, okay? Like in every trade union, you form a union to protect one another, so that external force can't come and attack one person, okay? So if anything happens to one Asu lecturer or Asu lecturers, we come at their aid. It is like NATO. When you want to give NATO allies, when you want to use Europeans, to give an example, okay? If any country attacks any NATO country, all NATO allies will come and defend them or come at their rescue. So it is like that in Asu. If you come against any Asu lecturer or Asu universities, we come for you. So union make them strong and strengthens them, okay? They understand the strength in union. Nigeria is the way it is now because of the diversity, or because of the disunity among its citizens, okay? So Asu understand the power or the strength of union, or of being united, okay? So now we have to now quickly go over to how does Asu protect the interests of the students and the university, okay? So Asu was initially, as I said before, formed to protect themselves, their interests, to fight for themselves. But of lately, Asu have boiled, or like it have extended to the university and the students. You know, education is all about lecturing, or lecturers, students, and university. So these three components makes up a university education. Okay, lecturers, or lecturing, university, and students. So when you are talking about Asu, you are talking about these three things. Okay, so lecturing, which is number one in this my list, is not just about teaching. It is also about research. And we all know that research is very expensive. Okay, we are coming to how Asu protect the interests of this university students and the university itself. Okay, research is very expensive. So why do we need research in universities? For us to stop recycling of old knowledge. Many a times, what is being taught 15 years ago is still being taught today in our Nigerian universities. 15 years ago, 20 years, at times it is even better 20 years ago or 15 years ago. Could you imagine? If you, let's relate a bit. Think of technology. Can you use technology of last 15 years ago or 20 years ago? Is it still working today? But they keep recycling the knowledge. So they need, like, lecturing is all about teaching and research. If you stop researching, you start recycling, and which is not good. Okay? So how does let's now go to the demand that has tendered to the federal government and know which of those demands protect the interest of the citizens and the university. Okay, number one interest on the Asuu list is funding for the revitalization of public university. Okay, the federal government and Asuu had an agreement in the year 2009 and 13. Okay, to be injecting 1.3 trillion naira into the educational. Okay, into the educational sector. They had an agreement to inject 1.3 trillion naira into educational sector. Okay, to be paid into 6 tranches. Okay, they have 6 times to pay this 1.3 trillion naira. Okay, but since 2009 till date, they have only paid 200 billion naira, the remaining 1.1 billion naira. Okay, and they are like, what is keeping us, or remaining 1.1 trillion naira, sorry, not billion. Okay, so Asuu is of we need to revitalize the Nigerian institution. We need to make it an institution, not where you see unfinished or unkept or disarrayed classrooms. We need to inject funds to renew the face or the surface of this institution. Okay, that's number one. Asuu demand to the federal government. So number two of their demand is constitution of visitation panel. The union is also demanding that federal government do go and visit the institution, university. Okay, since 2009 to date, the only time federal government have gone to visit is 2011, and since 2011 till date, they have not even released the white paper of their visitation. They have not even shown results, like what is the observation, what did you experiment, how do you see the school, how do you see the university. They have not given anything to us. Okay, and Asuu is still striking. We need you to be visiting this school. We need you to take this sector very serious. Okay, so number three is proliferation of universities. Asuu wants federal government they want to have an upsurge of universities in Nigeria. They want more universities. They want to inject funds and build more universities for the students. Okay? See, many a times, in fact, majorly, it is just one federal university in every state. Check the population of every state. Check the population of people needing admission in every state. It is just one university. And maybe one university, one department might not even admit up to more than 300 students. Then check when just one department have just 300 students from the whole state. So they need a proliferation of universities. Okay, number four from my own personal list is 26% budgetary allocation to the educational sector. So from Asuu needs Nigeria or the federal government to inject 26% of our budget, of our yearly budget, into the education sector. Okay? Every important sectors in Nigeria have appropriate, Nigeria is injecting up to 5.something% of the budget to education. They want it to be increased to 26%. Okay? So Nigeria government or the federal government have been busy tackling equipping the military and also infrastructure, okay, and leaving the educational sector behind. Okay, if you want to, I believe, from my own opinion, if you want to curb insecurity in the nation, I believe education is the first place to go. If Nigerians are educated and they are doing something with their life, they won't see the purpose or the need to pick arm against the government. So instead of building the ammunition, why not build education? Why not empower them so they will not think of crime? Okay? Nigeria is busy spending heavily on infrastructure and leaving the mental structure of their citizens in disarray. Okay? So I would like to, on this note, believe me, no matter what, if you give a billion, let me say, if you give 1 million or 1 billion naira to an illiterate, he will squander it. But give just 1 million naira to an intellect, he will make a good use of it. So that's the human capacity building. Okay? As is telling federal government, we need more human capacity. Inject more fund into this, into the system. Okay? Believe me, no matter the amount of infrastructure we have, without good mental structure, we will all not know the value of them. Okay, so on this note, we have seen that Asuu is not just self-centered. They also have the interest of the masses or the interest of its students at the university at heart. Okay, so right now, let's go over to how does Asuu, or what Asuu demand protects the interest of the staff or of its staff. Okay, let's go over to how they protect the interests of their staff. Number one is payment of earned allowances. Like every other firm, even private companies, they have allowance they pay to their staff. They have stipends they give to their staff. You know, it's not just relying on their salary. Even our political elites, they have allowances, clothing allowance, vacation allowance. As also said, our lecturers deserve these allowances. We need something for them apart from the salary. Maybe based on performance or anything, just allowance, they need to be earning as allowance. Which the federal government agreed in the year 2019. Up to date, nothing has been paid. From 2019 till now, they have not received anything. Okay, so number 2 on that list is Asuu wants federal government to adopt UTAS, that is University Transparency and Accountability Solution. Okay, so Nigeria or the federal government introduced IPPIS, which is an Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System. So they introduced this to Nigerians in 2006 as a means of paying salaries. And also with this IPPIS, absolute, or let me say adequate deduction and remittances will be paid to third party from your salary. Okay, once federal government pays you through IPPIS, third parties such as the National Health Insurance Scheme or State Board of Internal Revenue, many of these people or this organization will take their deduction or remittances from your salary if you have allies with them, if you have anything to do with them. Okay, so IPPIS will make sure that you are being taxed accordingly before your money gets to you. So if you are, let me say, if you are paying like 90k before it got or before it reached to you, you might be receiving 80k or 85 or 70 something. Do you get me? You must have been like gone through normal or appropriate deduction. Okay, but due to the inefficiency or inappropriate modern equipment or technology in our nation, okay, this IPPIS is not working effectively in terms of checkmating of like the most important aim of this IPPIS is to checkmate those workers. Many people that are being working at home, or people that are receiving double salary, all this kind of corruption that is in the system. That's why IPPIS is being introduced to solve. But due to lack of appropriate technology, they're not meeting up to the standard. Okay, they're not meeting up. That's why Asuu said we don't need it again. Okay, that's why Asuu gave demand for federal government to adopt UTAS, which the federal government have accepted, but till now it have not been adopted and being replaced. It have not replaced the IPPIS, the UTAS. It have not replaced it. Although the federal government have accepted, okay, yes, we will do it, but till date they have not done it. Okay, the list or the last, according to my own list of their demand that protect the interest of their staff is withheld salaries and non-remittance of check-off dues. Many of Asus are complaining due to this IPPIS that their salaries are withheld, some don't receive, some are having excessive deduction, they don't know. Okay, so this is one of it, and all these things, they need you to pay them back. So that's one of those demands Asu is putting. Okay, this one is demands that protect the interest of the staff, Asu staff. Okay, now let's go down to how now, knowing this, how can you now dodge or avoid Asu? Okay, Asu, all federal, okay, for prospective Nigerian students now, pay attention to avoid Asu. All federal universities are under Asu. All Nigerian federal universities are under Asu. So if you are feeling your, if you are a prospective student for any of Nigerian federal university and you want to study there, you must, once ASU strikes, you must be affected, okay? So if you want to dodge it, you go to some state universities, okay? There are some state universities that have pulled out since last strike or even during this strike. There are many, like schools like Asuu, Asuu in any state, like EDUBLOG again, yeah? Many schools are pulling, state universities are pulling out. So all you got to do is check the school you want to. Check the school you are, once you are filling your form, check the school you want to enroll in, okay? Check whether they are still under ASU. You better go to schools that are not still under ASU, okay? Because the federal government is reluctant in satisfying ASU demands. And another way you can avoid ASU strike is going to private university. Although it is very costly going to private universities in Nigeria. Okay, but that's just what you can do, because all federal universities are under ASU. Some state universities are under ASU, while some are not. But all private universities are not under ASU. Okay, so on this note, I believe you have gotten some value from this video. Okay, and I want you to share this video with your friends on what is ASU and the updates about ASU. How to avoid this ASU, so you not put a university that is under ASU and later end up complaining about the strike. Okay, thank you once again for watching this video, and I'm still Harry Dave. Thanks, and thanks you once more. Have a good day.